Today's exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins, where we will dive deep into the story of the 2016 D1 dime USA coin that is astonishingly valued at around $0.85 million despite having a face value of just 10 cents, and how this mind-blowing jump in value comes from certain unique characteristics, minting mistakes, errors, and anomalies that have captured the attention of collectors, investors, and historians across the world. So let us take a closer look at how such a common piece of change can transform into a treasure worth nearly a fortune, and why this particular dime has become a centerpiece in the conversation about modern coinage, rarity, and numismatic passion. Because at first glance a dime minted in 2016 at the Denver Mint might look ordinary, a tiny silver-colored coin that many people casually toss into their pockets, vending machines, or piggy banks. But the reality is that a few select examples of this dime stand out from the millions produced, carrying with them flaws that are invisible to the casual eye yet monumental in their impact on value once spotted by the keen and experienced numismatist. For when we explore how mint errors occur, we understand that the minting process is not always perfect even in the modern age of precision technology. Sometimes dies clash, blanks get misfed, planches are improperly prepared, or mint marks are misplaced, doubled, or even omitted altogether, and this is precisely where the magic of numismatic value arises, because rarity is not just about age or metal content, it is also about the story a coin tells, the uniqueness it holds, and the mystery that surrounds its journey from production line to collector's showcase. So when we speak of the 2016 D dime, we must carefully explore the nature of its errors and the reason it is capable of being valued so incredibly high, reaching up to $850,000 in private sales and auctions where serious collectors compete to secure what is perceived as a once-in-a-lifetime piece. And in these discussions experts often point out doubled die obverse varieties where inscriptions or images appear slightly doubled due to die misalignment, off-center strikes where the design is shifted creating a coin with a partial blank area, broad strikes that extend beyond normal rims due to striking outside the retaining collar, and clipped planches where a portion of the coin is literally missing due to a miscut blank. Each of these errors increases desirability, but when combined with mint mark issues such as the Denver D being struck in the wrong position, being doubled, or even being missing altogether, the value can skyrocket as the population of such coins remains extremely low compared to the massive quantities of regular dimes. And the story grows even more interesting when you consider the psychology of collecting, because people are not simply paying for the metal, they are paying for the rarity, the bragging rights, the pride of ownership, and the knowledge that they possess something that hardly anyone else on the planet has. So when a collector comes across a coin like the 2016 D dime with dramatic errors, they are willing to spend astronomical amounts knowing that its value will likely continue to climb as years pass and examples become even harder to locate in circulation. And while millions of ordinary 2016 D dimes continue to pass hands daily, the special few that carry these anomalies remind us that hidden treasures are all around us, tucked inside jars, drawers, wallets, and cash registers, waiting for an observant eye to spot them. And the possibility of discovery drives an entire community of treasure hunters who check their pocket change with hopes of stumbling upon a jackpot coin. So now we must ask, how does a dime minted for a face value of 10 cents achieve a valuation of $0.85 million? And the answer lies not only in the minting error itself but also in provenance, condition, and market demand, because in numismatics, condition is king, and a coin that is preserved in near-perfect uncirculated or mint state with a dramatic error commands exponentially more than one in worn circulated condition. So collectors send these coins for professional grading to services like PCGS or NGC, where experts authenticate, grade, and encapsulate the coin in tamper-proof holders that ensure its protection and certify its value. And once a coin like the 2016 D dime with unique error and mint mark issues is certified at the highest grades, it becomes a showpiece attracting competitive bidding at auctions, often leading to jaw-dropping hammer prices that make headlines in the coin collecting community. And what makes the 2016 D dime even more fascinating is that it represents a modern rarity, because many people assume that only old coins from the 1800s or early 1900s can fetch big money. Yet here we have a coin from just a few years ago, still in the lifetimes of everyone listening, commanding a value that surpasses the dreams of casual collectors, proving that treasures are not just buried in ancient history but are still being created by chance in our own time. And this is what makes the coin hobby so thrilling, because every day presents an opportunity to uncover something extraordinary. And as the legend of the 2016 D dime spreads, more people begin to check their change, magnifying glasses come out, coin rolls are searched, and hopeful hunters examine mint marks, strike quality, and small details that might reveal a hidden error, with dreams of turning 10 cents into hundreds of thousands, and beyond the monetary aspect lies the deeper story of human fascination with rarity, because our minds are wired to value the unique, to celebrate the one-in-a-million occurrence, and when a piece of metal carries such a story, it transcends its utilitarian role and becomes a piece of history, a collectible, an investment, and even a cultural icon. And when we examine the market trends, we see that the demand for modern-era coins is growing steadily as more collectors, especially younger ones, enter the field through online platforms, auctions, social media groups, and educational content, sparking a new wave of interest in coins like the 2016 D-Dime. And the more that demand grows while supply remains fixed or dwindling, the higher the value climbs, creating a cycle that feeds itself as investors begin to treat these coins as assets alongside art, real estate, or stocks, and in this case the 2016 D-Dime with its extraordinary valuation embodies the perfect storm of factors that make a coin legendary: scarcity, error, story, and demand. And when we pull back and think about it, it is humbling to realize that something so small, so ordinary in its intended purpose, can achieve such an extraordinary destiny. So if you are holding a dime in your hand right now, especially a 2016 D, look at it carefully, study the mint mark, examine the strike, check for doubling, off-center designs, missing elements, or unusual shapes, because you never know if your very own pocket change holds the potential to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and this possibility is what keeps the coin collecting community alive, energized, and constantly searching. And as stories of life-changing discoveries surface, more and more people join this adventure. For example, tales of individuals who found rare coins in bank rolls or inherited collections that later sold for staggering sums inspire others to take the hobby seriously. And with the 2016 D-Dime as a shining example, the narrative is clear that treasure is still out there waiting to be found. And in conclusion, this incredible journey of the 2016 D1 dime from face value of 10 cents to worth of $0.85 million highlights the unpredictability of minting, the power of error coins, the thrill of discovery, and the undeniable allure of rarity. So keep your eyes open, check your change, and remember that the next great discovery might be sitting quietly in your pocket right now, reminding us that even in the smallest corners of our daily lives, extraordinary value can be hidden in plain sight. Where small details, hidden errors, mint mark mistakes, and unique production variations can turn an ordinary piece of pocket change into a treasure worth life-changing money. And today we are going to dive deep into the incredible story of the 2018 P1 dime United States coin that in some cases has been valued as high as $2.3 million because of the fascinating combination of errors, minting anomalies, and collector demand that make it so different from its ordinary face value of just 10 cents. And to truly understand why a simple 2018 dime from Philadelphia could reach such an extraordinary valuation, we need to look at the history of US dimes, the minting process, the types of errors that occur, the psychology of collectors, and the rarity that pushes certain coins into the realm of million-dollar legends. Because while most people overlook dimes as small change lost in the couch or forgotten at the bottom of a purse, coin enthusiasts know that these tiny pieces of metal can sometimes hold extraordinary secrets that transform them into treasures rivaling even the most famous artifacts. And in the case of the 2018 P-Dime, the story starts with the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the busiest facilities in the United States, producing billions of coins every year. And with such massive production runs, it is inevitable that mistakes sometimes slip through, whether they be double strikes, off-center strikes, die clashes, missing mint marks, repunched mint marks, broad strikes, planchette errors, or even mysterious varieties that occur when dies are modified or damaged. And in 2018 several examples of dimes emerged that collectors began noticing had unusual characteristics such as missing mint marks, double die obverse features, rotated dies, and even some that showed evidence of improper alloy mixes which created color variations and odd appearances that stood out from the usual bright clad design. And as the numismatic community discussed these pieces on forums and auction houses began to receive samples, the excitement grew as authentication experts confirmed that some of these errors were genuine and exceptionally rare, especially when found in high-grade uncirculated or proof-like condition. And while the average 2018 dime might never be worth more than its face value, a unique combination of these errors, particularly those tied to the mint mark mistake in Philadelphia, have catapulted certain specimens into the multi-million-dollar category. with one notable sale reported at $2.3 million, which shocked both collectors and casual observers alike, because who would imagine that a coin most of us dismiss as pocket change could rival the price of luxury houses, sports cars, or investment portfolios? But such is the magic of coin collecting, where rarity, condition, and demand intersect in dramatic fashion. And this phenomenon isn't isolated to just the 2018 dime, as history is filled with examples like the 1913 Liberty nickel, the 1943 copper penny, or the 2000 Sacagawea Cheerios dollar, which all gained astronomical values for being rare and desirable. Yet the 2018 dime stands out because of its modern date, which makes people think modern coins cannot be valuable, but in reality modern minting eras are just as capable of producing legendary rarities as their older counterparts. And when we think about the mint mark specifically, it carries significant weight in coinage history, because mint marks tell us where the coin was produced, and mistakes involving mint marks such as missing marks, repunched marks, or incorrect marks are some of the most collectible and valuable errors in US numismatics. And for the 2018 dime, examples emerged where the P mint mark appeared faint, doubled, misaligned, or even absent entirely despite being expected. And because 2017 was the first year Philadelphia ever included the P mint mark on dimes to commemorate the mint's 225th anniversary, collectors pay extremely close attention to these details on subsequent years. So when mistakes occurred in 2018, the numismatic market immediately recognized their potential significance, and as professional grading services like PCGS and NGC began encapsulating and certifying these errors with high grades like MS68 or MS69, the bidding wars among collectors and investors pushed prices to levels nobody anticipated. And it is this perfect storm of rarity, historical significance, minting anomaly, and collector enthusiasm that explains how a 2018 P dime could rise from 10 cents to $2.3 million. And beyond the specific error coins, we also must consider the psychology of collectors, because in numismatics, value is not just about metal content but about story, rarity, and competition. And when wealthy collectors vie for a piece that they believe will cement their prestige or complete their collection, the sky is the limit for bidding. And this is why auction houses often see such dramatic leaps in price when two or more determined buyers refuse to back down. And with the 2018 P dime, this competitive spirit undoubtedly played a role in elevating its worth, because possessing a coin of this magnitude means owning not only a rare artifact but also a symbol of status and expertise in the coin collecting community. And when you look at the coin itself, the design remains the familiar Roosevelt dime featuring President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and the torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. But what distinguishes it is the subtle yet extraordinary variations caused by minting mishaps, and sometimes the most valuable coins are not flashy or obvious at first glance but require a trained eye to spot the doubling on the lettering, the absence of a mint mark, the slight off-center alignment, or the unusual texture caused by a wrong planchet. And these are the details that ignite excitement among specialists. And as word spreads through coin shows, collector clubs, YouTube channels, and social media, the legend of the 2018 P dime continues to grow, inspiring people everywhere to check their change more carefully, because one never knows when a life-changing coin might be hiding in circulation. And while the odds are small, they are not zero, which keeps the dream alive and fuels the passion of the hobby. And this is exactly why coin collecting is not just about profit but about history, discovery, and connection to the fascinating process of minting that produces billions of coins yet occasionally leaves behind a magical anomaly. And as technology advances, we might expect fewer mistakes, but human oversight and mechanical wear ensure that errors will always exist. And when they do, the stories that follow can be extraordinary, just like the tale of the 2018 P dime that became worth $2.3 million. And this story should encourage everyone watching to pay closer attention to their coins, learn about varieties, educate themselves about grading, and stay engaged in the numismatic world, because opportunities still exist even in our modern era. And when you think about the possibilities, it becomes thrilling to imagine that the next great discovery could be sitting right now in your pocket, wallet, or coin jar, waiting to be recognized. And that is the wonder that makes this field so engaging, where something as humble as a dime can carry the weight of millions and capture the imagination of collectors across the globe. And the saga of the 2018 P dime will continue to be told in numismatic circles for years to come, as both a lesson and an inspiration, showing us that value is not just about metal but about rarity, error, history, and human fascination. And with every new discovery, we are reminded that the smallest coin can hold the biggest stories.